Hello everyone, this is Ross with Market Traders Daily, and this is today's video analysis for May 6, 2020. Today we're looking at the USDCHF, the US dollar versus the Swiss franc for today's trade analysis. I got two charts here on the screen. Left hand side is the dollar franc and the right hand side US dollar index. I put them like this so we can really get a handle on some of the reason for the movement and direction for the dollar franc. And you can see there's such a familiar and similar correlation to the US dollar. When the dollar's up, so is the dollar franc. When the dollar's down, so is the dollar franc. So there is a significant correlation between the dollar franc and the movement of the dollar. So if you're going to look at the dollar franc, it makes a whole lot of sense to be looking at the movement of the US dollar for direction and potential entry. So if we're going to buy the dollar franc in an uptrend, we would also want to see buying opportunities on the US dollar index into support or breaking of resistance. We want to see similar trade setups on both sides. So if we're going to buy the dollar franc with the direction of our blue trend line, we look for the right hand side to show us a buy signal as well. So that's really kind of the overall picture that we would look at. And of course, right now we are bullish. We have been for the past 3 days. And so I think that direction is what we'll focus in on, looking for buys on dips to support or breaks of resistance. Now, before I look into these charts further, it's important to recognize the fact that today we have some significant news out of the U.S. 8:15 Eastern U.S. time, about half an hour from the recording of this video. ADP non-farm employment change. There is a significant number expected with this non-farm employment change, ADP non-farm. It may have an impact, or it may have already been priced into the market. We'll have to wait and see how the market reacts to that news. That being said, also on tomorrow, we have unemployment claims. We all know that that has been significant over the past several weeks. And of course, on Friday, we have our jobs news, earnings, non-farm payroll, unemployment rate coming up on Friday. So in the next 3 days, each day has some significant for the news for the U.S. dollar. May or may not have an impact. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out for the dollar in the next couple of days. So keeping an eye on that. It will be one thing. Let's just look at the trend. The trend is up. Let's look at opportunities to trade the trend. Let's take it on down to the 4-hour time frame. You can see it's been moving up. Yesterday we saw some support here at the pink shaded area, 96.95, moved up, sat down on top of the blue zone over the past several hours, 97.25, pushed all the way to the orange zone. This really isn't a big surprise of resistance at the orange zone. If you look right here where the black circle is, you can see historically this is a significant area of resistance at the orange zone, support at the blue zone, maybe even resistance as high as the yellow zone. So we know that there's some room to go higher as long as it stays above this blue zone. So if I was looking to buy the dollar franc, it makes the most sense, look at the black circle, to buy as close as possible to the blue shaded area, not only the blue shaded area, the blue trend line, and then we target the orange zone and the yellow zone. The risk at that point is that the market gets under the blue zone, so we would place a stop generally underneath that support for our risk. We don't want it to break through that blue zone if we're going to buy there. So that's a pretty simple trade setup. If we're going to buy the dollar franc, we're doing it close to the blue zone. Stop loss will be underneath it in case it breaks under the blue zone, blue trend line. And we're going to target the orange zone and the yellow zone. Now, on the other side of things, if we see the dollar turn around and start to tank and go back down because of poor news, then of course the next thing we're looking for is the breakdown of that blue zone, the change of the trend. Right now, the blue trend line, higher lows, higher highs, that's our direction. We would change that perspective if we were to see it break the blue trend line, blue shaded area, and create lower highs and lower lows. So as long as it's in the uptrend, I think we're buying close as possible to the blue shaded area, stop loss underneath, keep an eye on the news. That could change everything real rapidly. Targeting the orange and the yellow shaded area in the direction of the trend, at least at this point. Doesn't seem like a good idea to sell it until it breaks that blue trend line to the downside for the dollar franc.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.